Mike, obviously not the ideal way to end the season, but it's been a tough season, hasn't it, on the whole?
Yeah, and tonight's game was tough, and Sydney was really good, and we didn't respond. So rough way to finish the season.
You started well in the first maybe 5 minutes, but then after that it went awry. But what do you feel as though Sydney did that extended the lead so far so quickly?
I think they played hard and they made shots, and they got to feeling good, and were able to move the ball, got to the rack, and then found each other and knocked down shots. So I think it was as simple as that. And we had some open looks early and didn't make them, and then they continued to make them and pile on, and the dam broke.
Is it tough to get up for a game like that? When you've got, I suppose, nothing to achieve, and you've got so many players injured and out, and we didn't have a lot of people, but we didn't play to our capabilities. So I can't tell you why. I don't think it's hard to get up to play a game of basketball. I think people who like to play basketball, it shouldn't be difficult to get up for a game of basketball. Sydney had more in a practical sense to play for the playoffs, but there's some guys out there who don't always get an opportunity to play a lot of minutes that got an opportunity tonight. So for whatever reason, Sydney was more ready, and they had the bodies, and their talent won out. A positive tonight was obviously Owen, coming back from his injury. How did you see his performance? I suppose his season on the whole too.
Yeah, Owen's been, great with effort the whole year, and I think he's been a big beneficiary of getting more minutes on the court, and he played hard again tonight.
Where do you see his future in terms of as an NBL player? Can he maybe step into a starting lineup down the track?
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. I know he'll keep working, and I think he just has to do, just let his game grow and become a dog on defense consistently. I think if he can do that, he'll have a chance.
Mitch, how hard was it, I suppose, getting up from your injury today?
It's pretty tough. Kind of hobbled around on one leg for the last 5 days, and some people in this room saw that firsthand, and probably shouldn't have played, to be honest. But when you've got 3 imports out, you've got Craig out, you've got all these young guys, they're meant to go and play against the reigning defending 2-time champions. With the season on the line, you've got to just grow a set and walk out there, and strapped it up and took some anti-inflams from the doc, and just chewed down and said, let's just go and see what happens. And you do your rehab, you do your recovery, and you do your best. The fans have given us so much this year. Mike's given us so much, the assistants have given us so much, the docs, the physios, high performance, the volunteers, Heartland crew. They give so much out of their schedules, their time, their effort, their days, their lives, their relationships. Like, I can go and play with a sore foot. That's okay. I can live with that.
The season on the whole, you end up about 3 games out of the playoffs in the end. Considering all the injuries you had this year, do you see that as a little bit of a success, even though it was the club's worst ever finish?
You don't lose the most dominant centre in the league for, I don't know how many games Sauce missed. You guys and girls might know that. 17, 11 games. I think he's good for 3 wins. If you don't, you probably need to go and evaluate your own thinking. You lose Gary for quite a number of time, Nader for quite a number of time, Craig for basically the entire season. Yeah, it's a different landscape with those guys. Like, they're extremely good basketballers at a world level. 3 games, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, we didn't win 3 games, and that's where the chips fall.
Mike, as you look back on the entirety of the season since you've come into the role, taken over, forgetting the win-loss record and where you finished, what are you proud of in terms of what you've helped to change or instill that's going to put you in good stead moving forward?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we were moving in the right direction. Even when we had everybody, we were. I shouldn't say that. We never had everybody, but when we had most of our guys playing, I think we were starting to show some good signs of playing like intense, fun, energetic basketball and with a kind of starting to get connected defensively as well. And we never got there totally, but we were, I don't know, second or third on the ladder there for a few weeks when it was, and starting to feel good about ourselves, about the direction we were going. So that's really the time I can look at and say, oh, we were doing the right things to put the guys in the right positions, and then basically we were dealing, plugging holes for the whole rest of the season. So it's hard to say we did this well, we did that well, and we will learn from that. Other than, some guys got some great opportunity, and also I think we had a few games where we were able to rise to the level, even though our talent at that time was probably less than the teams we were playing. So it's hard to say all that after the bottom dropped out in a game like tonight, because that's what I'm thinking about. Like, we've been trying to hold the level and raise some guys up, and as Creaky comes in, obviously not fully fit, but still gives his presence here. You hope that it helps the guys that are there, and tonight it did for about 6 minutes, and then it didn't. So yeah, that's I guess ask me that question in 2 weeks about looking at the season on a whole, because it's really been kind of day to day, training to training, and plugging some holes.
And this next one might also be something to ask in a couple of weeks, but have you started to give any thought about what else this team needs? Assuming everyone's healthy, you can make a real go, but what else this team needs to really get to that top echelon again, whether it's more shooting, more defense, those sorts of things,
Yeah.
or again, is that too premature?
I got one thing that is kind of obvious to me with this club, is that the people around the club are special, and also the fans. Like, we got beat up a little last week, and it was a sellout, and the fans were going crazy. And then afterwards, they stuck around for like an hour and a half, stood in line to get everybody's signatures. So seeing that kind of, even I had to smile after that game, and I usually am not smiling after a game like that. So I think there's something there that, the Southeast is a hotbed of basketball, that people that care and people like effort and see these guys' faces and want to be a part of that. So in saying that, looking forward, I think there's a lot that we can do better for next year, and we're determined to do those things that need to put us in the, at the top consistently every year.
Mitch, just on that, you've been here since day one around this club, and you've seen it grow, and you've seen the fan base grow. And when you look into the stands tonight, and forgetting the scoreline again, but there's 8,500 people staying till the end, going nuts, cheering, hanging around afterwards to get photos and autographs. Like, how special is that fan base that's been built, over the last few years since you guys have come in?
Yeah, every year we've hit record numbers. Memberships are up, attendance is up, crowds are up, viewership's up, endorsement sponsors, everything's up every year. That's a credit to the back end team. They're the most important part that keeps this club on the court. That keeps us, with a pocket, with money in it at the end of the day as well. Like that pays our salaries. So the work they do to bring in and engage with the fans, the community, the schools, the entire Southeast, the entire state of Victoria and Australia, like, that's a noble effort by the organisation, and done an amazing job of that. I don't know many franchises that after 4 or 5 years are doing 8,500, 9,000 people at games consistently, having sellouts when we're getting absolutely pumped too. So I'm really proud of every single person that grinds their ass off during the week to make a living in this tough climate, and then comes to the city and watches us play. So that's why after every game you see me before, after, and even afterwards again, just like engaging in every way I can. Photos, autographs. I gave away my game jersey and shoes today. I think I'm going to get in trouble for giving away my game jersey, but I will figure that out with Tommy when he finds out. This is my spare jersey, so look, it's real sweaty. But like, they just went bananas all year, and you have to remember when you were a kid and how it felt to meet your idol, and when you realise that you have an effect far greater than just wins and losses. You have an effect on changing someone's whole life and outlook, and when you take that personally and you make that your most important, asset as a professional, that's the responsibility we all need to hold closest than, did I play well? Did I have 20? Did we win? Did we lose? Like, did you give your best effort? Yes. Did you have fun doing it? No. Okay, well, there's your first mistake. Next time you go and have fun and give your best effort. And that's good enough for everyone. And if kids can see that, and that's what I try and do, then I think that message needs to ring home, and hopefully that inspires a few people that we hang around afterwards and they get to see that message firsthand as well.
Have you allowed yourself to think about or dream about what this crowd could be like in a home playoff game?
Yeah, visualise that every day of the off season. Every time we're on the running track when it's icy and 2 degrees and we're doing sprints, like I'm thinking about, coming down, hitting a trail 3 on back-to-back possessions on dunks and calling a timeout, and I'm thinking that's why I'm running right now. That's why I'm in shape before I get to preseason. That's why I'm strong before I get to preseason. That's why I'm mentally strong before the season even prepares a preseason. Like, we're prepared, and we all need to be on that level. And if we do that, we're going to put ourselves in good stead. That's the first thought always.
And have you given any thought to what you're going to do this off-season after you obviously take a bit of time out to get your body right again? Are you planning to go play overseas again, or what's going on?
Funny guys in this room. Look, I don't know. I want to go and have a beer with my teammates. I want to see my dad and my family. I want to, hug and kiss my friends and tell them how much I love them and thank them for supporting me this year and giving me a soft surface to lie on when I've needed them. That's been the most important thing for me this year, and it's been a hard year for me, and I know it's been a hard year for a lot of people. I don't take away that from anyone, but I need to go and make sure I spend the time with the people that have cared for me when I've needed the care. So, yeah, that's my priority right now. There's things in the works, and we'll focus on those when they come. The ball's still round and it still goes in a circle ring, so we'll figure that part out. It's pretty easy. Thanks for the year. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All the best. Just blocking signals.